What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a great day. We're back at Barfield Crescent Park. This time I brought a full suspension. We'll talk about that bike in a little bit, but for now, let's get on the trails. See you in a second. Oh, we're gonna have an afternoon of trying to track the trail. Hard to see with all the leaves. Okay, we're redoing that. There we go. It's so hard to see the trail right now. Alright guys, while I cool off a little bit, let's talk about this bike. This is a 2000 model Gary Fisher Sugar1. This was their really second foray into full suspension after the V-shaped frames. This one is a low step over top tube, which is awesome being that I'm older now. Low pivot, full suspension. SID air shock rear, SID fork up front, or SID SL fork up front. I've added the WTB saddle, the snafu lock-on grips, which I like a lot. These would have been come factory with the XT you see here, as well as Bontrager equipment. So Bontrager handlebar instead of this Rocky Mountain, which is a flat bar, but it's the wider bar, so more modern. And you would have had a Bontrager stem, but you would have had a longer Bontrager stem. This is Genesis geometry, kind of the forward thinking of Gary Fisher at the time, but the stem would have still been a little longer. This one, much more modern kind of interpretation. And actually, when I purchased the bike, those were on it. I just added the grips. So, going forward, you've got these tubeless compatible wheels here. I actually have tubes in them. Very nice wheels though. These are the Race Lights by Bontrager. And then you can see I have a WTB, which I love, the WTB Velociraptor tire, directional rear tire on the back. On the front, you can see it's not WTB, but this wheel works really good up front. I may put a WTB Velociraptor front on it, just because I like the extra traction. Going down the bike, what would have been original The SID SL would have been a factory air shock. These were the high-end air shocks of the day. SID dual air rear shock would have been factory original. You can see Genesis geometry on the painted part. XT cassette and XTR rear derailleur would have been original. And then the 3x front XT crank would have been original. I put these flat pedals on it for today. I normally run time attack pedals, clip-ins, but it's really rocky. I'm kind of tired, so yeah. This is a large frame. I'm over 6 foot. Large fits me just fine. I actually like the large better than the extra large. XT front derailleur, so because it is a 3x, you do need the front derailleur. This is a Bontrager C-post, would have been original. I have resprayed it so you can't see any Bontrager emblems, but yeah, very, very nice bike overall. I picked this one up off Facebook Marketplace, and you know, I was really kind of hesitant. It had to be shipped. Couldn't see it beforehand, but yeah, just great. So 26-inch tires, because this is a retro bike. Like I said, this was from 2000. This would have been the full suspension option for the SAAB race team in 2000, the Gary Fisher SAAB partnered race team. Riders like Paula Pezzo would have opted for this in the full suspension, and the Super Caliber in the hardtail version. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. Had a couple little missteps, but I think that's due to the really short front stem, which I don't know if I'm going to keep or not, but we'll find out. Only one bottle cage on this one. I would have liked to seen my Super Caliber has optional bottle cages down here. I would have liked to seen a second bottle cage there, but I don't spend enough time out on the trails for it to really matter. Avid V brakes would have been original, I believe. Although don't quote me, it may have had XT, but at any rate, great bike. Cool looking, two team colors for Gary Fisher SAAB in 2000. And actually these were the team colors from like 96 all the way through like 2001, the red and yellow. As I said about the Super Caliber, Paula Pezzo won on a carbon fiber Gary Fisher in the 96 Olympics, first gold medalist in this team color. So it's been around for a while. Obviously Gary Fisher was one of the founding members of the sort of mountain bike craze. He coined the term mountain bikes for his bikes back in the early days, and then was bought out by Trek. He did his own Gary Fisher line, then was bought out by Trek. This would have been a Trek owned bike, so most of the parts would have been Trek owned. And then later on, up until today, they still do Gary Fisher editions, but they're purely Trek, labeled with a little Gary Fisher design emblem or Gary Fisher emblem. So yeah, the full Gary Fisher bike is gone these days, which is unfortunate, but yeah, cool piece of history. So we came from here. Let's go here. Try to track this trail. It's a little difficult because it's full of leaves, but we're gonna do our best. So let's hop on, let's ride some more. Huh. I just completely lost the trail for a second. Always embarrassing when you can't find the trail. Okay, now we're back on. Well, that sucked. Again, can't see what's below the leaves. And I was going way too slow. Couldn't track. Whew. I very much have a love-hate with this trail. It's not a very fast trail, and it's really rocky, so it's not something you necessarily enjoy, but it's good for learning technique. Something that I need to do more of is technique training. As you can see. My side's hurting a bit from that tumble. So, yeah, these rocks are beating me up. Probably call it a day after this loop. Definitely been fun. It's always fun. I messed with the GoPro a little bit too. 4K 30, super view, hyper boost, factory light settings. And it's the GoPro 9, GoPro Hero 9 Black. You can tell me how that looks in the comments. We're actually about back. A little bit more, little climb, little descent. Here's the climb. Yeah, I felt that in my side. Get to the top of this. See how the descent feels. Oh, I take it back. We're back. All right. Well, hope you've enjoyed that terrible mountain biking footage. And we'll just see you guys next time.